Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. Today we're looking at this letter from Fiona.
Okay.
And she's sort of dealing with this question of like, how do you balance ambition with friendships? Like when someone in your circle is like really going for it in their career,
Yeah.
and how does that affect the people around them?
Right.
And so Fiona's friend in this letter is he's in academia and he's like super driven.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it's starting to cause some friction. Like she feels
Uh,
like she's losing touch with him a little bit.
yeah. I mean, this is something that comes up a lot, right?
Yeah.
Especially in a field like academia
Yeah.
where, you're really expected to just dedicate yourself so intensely to your research and to your teaching and everything else.
Yeah.
And Fiona even says, her friend is chasing the dream of wealth and academic fame.
Right.
And it really makes you wonder, what's the cost of that kind of ambition?
It's like she feels like he's just so busy all the time, right? Like constantly working. And she says his efforts are getting less and less. And it's gotten to the point where Fiona's just like, I'm over it.
Oof. Yeah. I mean, it's got to be tough when you feel like you're not a priority.
Yeah, totally. And it makes you think about like, the importance of those connections, right?
Yeah.
Like we all need those people in our lives who
Absolutely.
we can just relax with and be ourselves with.
Hmm.
And it sounds like maybe Fiona's not getting that from her friend anymore.
And it's possible, that her friend isn't even fully aware of what he's doing.
Really?
Like psychologists talk about this thing called ambition blindness, which is like when you're so laser focused on a goal,
Uh-huh.
your brain kind of filters out anything that might distract you from it,
Wow.
even if it's like, the emotional needs of your friends.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, it's not necessarily intentional neglect. It's
Yeah.
more like a side effect of being so driven.
Hmm. I wonder if, like, is there a way to kind of balance those two things, though? Like, can you be ambitious and still be a good friend?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Yeah.
Some people might say that Fiona's friend is just making a calculated choice.
Okay.
Like he's focusing on his career now, and maybe he thinks he can focus on relationships later. It's like that whole delayed gratification thing.
Right, right.
But then you have to ask, is it fair to expect your friends to just wait around?
That's a tough one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tricky.
It makes you think about your own priorities, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you balance your own ambitions with your personal life?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's like a right answer.
Yeah, it's definitely not a one-size-fits-all situation. It's about finding what works for you and for the people you care about.
But I do think Fiona's letter really highlights the importance of communication.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, even if you're super busy,
Yeah.
even just like a quick check-in can make a big difference. It
Exactly.
shows your friends that you're thinking about them, that you value their relationship.
Even something small can really go a long way.
Yeah, and for anyone listening who's maybe in academia or thinking about going into that field,
Right.
finding that balance is so key. And there are resources out there to help you with that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
academicjobs.com is a great place to start if you're looking for, academic jobs
Absolutely.
in your specific field.
It's a great resource.
Yeah. And I think in the end, Fiona's story just reminds us that success shouldn't come at the expense of our relationships
So true.
or our own well-being.
It's about finding that equilibrium between achieving your goals and nurturing your relationships.
Yeah, you got to find that sweet spot.
Exactly.
Well, everyone, thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Yeah.
Hopefully Fiona's story has given you something to think about. And, as you go about your day, maybe ask yourself, how do I prioritize my own ambitions and relationships? And is there anything I could be doing to find a little more balance in my life? That's all for today. Thanks for listening.